clients really want to take their business or their lives or their well-being to the next level, but without that foundation of sleep, they really, really struggle. So I could honestly talk about sleep for days. I'm not going to talk that long this time, and I'm just going to talk about sustainable health and how sleep is the cornerstone of that. For those of you watching on YouTube, you'll get to see the slides and the tips and tricks in writing. For those of you listening in on the podcast, of course, I'll ensure the experience is just as perfect for you as well, going through things step by step. So welcome, and let's dive in. So for those of you watching on YouTube, and you can always go and check it out later if you're listening on the podcast, the link will be in the show notes. Just focusing on sustainable health, and on the slide deck, you'll see a photo of me back in my 20s. So let me describe it for you as you're listening in. I look extremely tired. My eyes are almost closed. It's my best friend's wedding day. But if you have really seen me lit up, you could tell by the smile on my face that I'm not really lit up at all. My face is much wider and fuller than it is now. I may have been obese at that stage for my frame. I do know that I was just reaching a particular size of clothes where that was the turning point where I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make a change. I won't talk about the size right now, but you can see I look tired. I look exhausted. I am overweight, and my eyes are really dull. There's no sparkle at all. And in my next image is a photo of me in my early 40s. So I look so much younger. It's like the 40s looks like the 20s and the 20s looks like the 40s. It's in absolute reverse. You can see I'm focusing on my well-being. My body looks strong and healthy. My complexion is bright. I'm smiling. My eyes are open. It's a totally different photo. And the reason that I have been able to transform my life and help so many other clients transform their lives, not only their physical well-being, but their mental, social, emotional, is because I've had sustainable health as the foundation to that. And I worked with a beautiful coach, Jen Frazer, to help me do that. We have a nutrition product line together. I'm still consume those products, nearly half a decade on. But sustainable health is just so important. So let's dive into that. So the reason it's important is your physiology is the foundation for everything you want in your life. So we can have the car, the husband, the wife, the dream relationship, the bank account balance that we want, the family that we want, to live where we want. It doesn't really matter. We can have any of those things, but without our health, we can't enjoy it. So for me, it's where I start with all my clients. My 4-week Emerge program focuses specifically on this and morning rituals. And as I work one-to-one with my clients, I always check on how they are and what's happening here before we do any other work. One of the most profound things I learned was around this work from potential psychologist Ellen Jackson. A really great piece of work, and she tells us to take our meds daily, and this is the secret. Have you taken your meds? It's a pretty cool question to ask yourself every day, but that's med stands for M for meditation, E for exercise, D is for diet, and S is for sleep. So she really sees that this is the foundation requirement for mental health. I would have to agree. I also think it's the cornerstone for all well-being. So meditation, exercise, diet, and sleep. But I have found the work I've done with my clients is it's difficult for them to exercise if they haven't had enough sleep. It's difficult for them to dedicate time to a really nutritious diet if they haven't had enough sleep, because they're just looking for quick absorbing carbs, which is not always ideal when people are looking for physical or weight wellness. And then if you haven't had enough sleep, it's really difficult to have a quality meditation. So that's why today I'm offering you this work around sleep. So there's many factors that go into sleep. And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see a picture of my 2 little kitty cats snoozing away, Mia and Miller, and her nickname's Camilla. Mia and Miller on the bed having a good old snooze. And I do say that a power nap is really helpful. But in terms of sleep, there are so many contributing factors. And I will just couch this conversation by saying that it's different for every individual and it's different depending on what's happening in your life. But these are the key things I know that if you focus on, you will improve your sleep quality. Okay. So the number one factor in looking at quality sleep and improving the quality of your sleep is this little contributor called sleep consistency. So sleep consistency is very important. So what's important for sleep consistency, or what that means, is the time you are going to bed and the time that you're getting up is the same or within range. So most of my clients, for what they're trying to achieve, they need 7 to 8 hours sleep to live a really fulfilled life. And so having a consistent time for bedtime, for them, it normally ranges in between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. So but it's about consistently going to bed at the same time and waking at the same time. And I really want you to set a benchmark of 80% if you're serious about improving your sleep consistency. So same bedtime, same wake time, 80% of the time. If you just focus on that, you will definitely see an improvement in the quality of your sleep. Because I've been tracking sleep for over 2 years now personally. I read about it constantly. What I know is sleep consistency is so important. And I used to think because I went to bed for 8 hours or 7 hours, I got 8 or 7 hours sleep. That's not actually true. I was going to bed for 7 hours and getting 5.5 hours of quality sleep. The rest of it was light sleep or awake time. It's not actually considered sleep at all. So I just invite you to go to bed and get up at the same time. It will improve the quality of sleep. So whilst you're in bed for the same amount of time, you'll actually increase the quality. Okay. So the duration of sleep is also important. So I want you to think about sleep like a bank. Okay. So if your body needs 8 hours and your body might need 9 hours of really quality sleep, or you may only need 6 hours, it really depends on what's happening in our life emotionally, what levels of stress we have, how fit we are, what strain we're putting our body under, a whole myriad of things. We'll need different times. But in terms of the duration of sleep that you need, I want you to think of it like a bank. So I know how much sleep I need because I track it. I track my strain, my recovery, and my sleep. So I can tell on my phone exactly how much sleep I need. But if you don't know, or you're not into tracking it and you just want to feel free, know that sleep is like a bank. So I know I need about 7.5 to 8 hours quality sleep a night. If I don't get that every night, that's okay. But sleep debt, like a debt does when you've got too much on your credit card, will stack up. Sleep debt stacks up, as do credits. So if I've got my sleep consistency, 80% of the time I'm getting to bed at 9 and getting up at 5, but one night I might get to bed at 10 and still get up at 5. I've got a sleep debt of an hour there, yeah, and it can accumulate over time. So when I was younger, I would often, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, have a lot of sleep debt building up, but then during the week, not actually build up extra time for sleep or rest or napping. Okay, so my sleep debt keeps growing and I'm running out of things in the bank. As you get a greater sleep debt, then you start to see things start to get compromised, like your immune system, the quality of your skin, your hydration, all of those kind of things. Like most things with the bank, the more you invest, the better your situation improves as well. So if you are having a late night, and that's okay, or a really busy, stressful day where you don't get quality of sleep, you can get a nap in as well. So just think about your sleep in terms of duration and a sleep debt or credit. And just be mindful, if you have been burning the candle at both ends, that's okay. You've been working at a really intense level, or partying at an intense level, or living life at a really intense level, that's cool. But fit in some naps, ideally no more than 20 minutes. And if you stick around to the end, I'll talk about my nap latte, which is a super cool thing around coffee and naps. Super cool trick. So we've talked about consistency, we've talked about duration. Now I want to talk about toxins in the body. So we know that toxins in the body are harmful, and the more toxins we can reduce, the better well-being we have. And it's the same with sleep. So most of my clients, when they first start working with me, as I did, put lots of toxins in their body, particularly before bed when we're tired. So we're exhausted, but we've still got washing to fold or emails to get back to or conversations to have or whatever it is. And we reach for foods that aren't great for us. And most of the time, it's not whole food. We feel like at 9 or 10 p.m., we feel like fast absorbing sugar. We feel like chocolate, ice cream, all the soul foods come into play. Anything around comfort that's going to make us feel better or give us energy. So all the soul foods, the processed foods, or the sometimes foods, they all come into play. Alcohol comes into play as well. Another toxin, people underestimate the impact of alcohol on sleep, quality of sleep. So I want you to think about these toxins before bed. And if you do love your soul food, as I do, I love chocolate before bed, and it was always a glass of red wine and a piece of dark chocolate. Now I have a herbal tea and some organic dark chocolate that's actually good for me. And so I'm having that each night, or I'm having a beautiful cup of cacao, like amazing plant medicine. If you want to know more about that, come just DM me. We can talk about that later. But I invite you to limit, if you're having lots of processed food, try and limit it before bed. Even if you can give yourself an hour or two before bed will be really helpful. And particularly around alcohol. I know personally, if I have any more than 2 standard drinks, and that's not the buckets of wine I was having, like a standard drink of wine is 90 mils. So any more than 180 mils, it will impact the quality of my sleep. And also if I have it in less than 2 hours before bed. So if I'm going to bed at 9, I need to finish my 2 glasses of wine by 7 p.m. for it to have no impact on the quality of my sleep. So if you are having toxins before bed and you would like a better quality sleep, I invite you to just skip them or half them and really think about the timing of those. Next one is light. So I'm talking about the light from your devices, from your TV. Pretty much when we walk around a modern home in Australia, we will be subjected to lots of artificial light. It can even be the street lights from outside, doesn't really matter. So we know that impacts our body to release serotonin, which is the hormone that helps us get sleepy. So people have started artificially taking serotonin, and that's okay if that's what you want to do. But if you haven't gone down that road yet and you're finding it hard to get to sleep, I would definitely recommend you getting some blue light glasses. They look pretty much like my reading glasses, but they just filter out the light. So I have mine in the kitchen. So once I've finished dinner and I'm done the washing up kind of thing, I've got my glasses on. So if the kids are asking me anything about their devices, which they also have glasses too, or the TV's on or something happens, I'm not getting disturbed by that. And my body is still going, oh, we're in wind down phase. Yep, I'm going to start releasing serotonin now, and we get in the normal sleep routine. So devices in our bed as the last thing we do before we go to sleep significantly impacts our quality of sleep. It also keeps our mind ticking, because whatever we've read or observed or scrolled, that's happening through our subconscious as we're processing and thinking and reflecting on it. Like, have you ever woken up in the morning and had dreams about the stuff you scrolled on before you went to sleep? So we can actually command our subconscious to do a lot of work for us while we sleep. So just be mindful about the content we're putting into our brain, but definitely around the light that we're using. So if you can not have your device in your bedroom, that's ideal. Filter out light. I actually have a sleep mask now that I wear. The other cool thing about that and travel is that when you have a sleep mask, you're creating the same environment no matter where you are when you're sleeping. So you at a subconscious level feel a lot safer because you're creating the same environment for your body to switch off and sleep. So I use earplugs, just some light ones, not industrial quality, and also sleep mask. So I can really, really focus on quality sleep. The other interesting thing that I've found in my research, and that's backed up by Whoop, which is the organization I use to measure my sleep, that's WHOOP, is reading. So reading before bed has a significant improvement in my quality of sleep, and also with the millions of users on Whoop as well. So ditching the Kindle or the device for the good old paper is definitely a way to improve your sleep quality. So I hope that's been helpful for you and give you a few things to start thinking about. So consistency, going to bed and getting up at the same time, thinking about your duration, and just know about it in a, think about it like a bank, and topping it up when you can, and just being mindful of those debts and how you can service those. Reducing the toxins, I mean, we can go right into skincare and deodorants and chemicals in the home. Switching for essential oils. We can go through all that, but I just invite you now to just think about those toxins you're putting in your body. Reduce the light that's in your room, and just think about adding some reading. If you do want to go deeper into your sleep, I recommend you come along to the half-day workshop. You can have a look at the links. You could do our 4-week Emerge program that really digs deep into the sleep stuff and nutrition and the meds, and unpacks all that, sustainable health, and just designing your morning ritual and getting you started. That's our 4-week Emerge program. That's, you can plug and play that anytime. That's online. And you'll be invited into our community and coaching circles with that program as well. DM us. There's lots of ways we can work together. Take care. God bless. If you are watching on YouTube, I invite you just to think about your morning rituals, and if you're out there listening too, just know that small, consistent steps in alignment with your goals is what helps you truly transform. I'm going to say that again: small, consistent steps in alignment with your goals. Yeah. And it's just a no-brainer. As you take more steps, you'll look back and you will definitely get there. I'd love to be on that journey with you. So just connect with me. For those on YouTube, you can just hold up your phone and click the QR code. For those of you listening on the podcast, just have a look in the show notes. I invite you to have a look at that. And I just want to send so much gratitude to Jaemin Frazer, who I dedicate this podcast to, who introduced me to Ellen Jackson and really started me on my own transformational journey when I was really stuck and not sleeping. And he just comes back pivotal in so many boundaries and barriers I come through as I work and grow and learn. So thank you, Jaemin, for starting my journey and introducing me to Ellen Jackson and the meds acronym. Take care, everyone, and God bless. Mwah.